Welcome, everyone. My name is Amy Berkeley, and I'm sitting here with Karl-Heinz Rauscher, who is
Hi.
a family constellation. Thank you, Karl-Heinz. He's a family constellation practitioner and medical doctor in Germany. And the two of us were planning to conduct a workshop in person in Washington, D.C. on May 1st through 3rd called Life is a Chance. And of course, because of the coronavirus crisis, we find that we have to transition to online, as so many people are doing. But we're pleased to announce that the event is up and running, and we're here to talk a little bit about it and tell you a little bit more about Karl-Heinz and about how he works. So the first thing I would like to do is say a little bit more, or have Karl-Heinz say a little bit more about his work and how he uses family constellations and healing voices in working with both medical illnesses, psychological illnesses, and life circumstances.
Yeah, hi everybody. I greet you from Germany right now. I'm here sitting 1 hour south of Munich at the rim of the Alps. Nice weather outside. Hi. Well, I'm pleased that we found a way to really do this workshop, also in Corona times. And well, the title is Life as a Chance. And that means that diseases are a chance, and life and circumstances and are also a chance. And not everybody is falling sick with coronavirus, COVID-19 disease, but many are affected. And also this might be a chance. What we will do in this workshop is to work with symptom constellations. That means whatever appears in your life. It could be a disease, it could be pain, it could be a depression, it could be somehow a discontentness, or it could be trouble with your relationship or with your work or with your life circumstances. Whatever that is, it's a symptom, it's an appearance. And we work with that with symptom constellations. And then we have a second method at the end. Often, maybe 80% of the constellations, I will work with healing voices, shamanic tool, shamanic energetic healing, which was developed in my work, or developed itself in my work in the last 25 years.
Thank you, Karl-Heinz. I know that some people who will be attending the workshop will have some experience of these methods and some will not. So it's really helpful also to talk about how exactly you'll be able to work with this with people attending online, because in a large group, we usually have people standing in as representatives for illnesses, other people, etc. How will this work with this workshop?
Well, I worked for several years now online in a single situation. And in these situations, I have papers for placeholders on the floor with the name of the person and an arrow where this person looks at. And then, but this is just to begin with, so that everybody knows where everybody is standing. And then I go into every position one after the other and collect the information out of the system. Then, and this work helps now, because I will do that also in this workshop, step by step, and people can watch, and they can, if you're experienced enough, you can also try to stand for somebody in your room at home during the constellation, or you can just watch. And then the big advantage is that you, in case you're working with constellation work, that you see how that can be done online in a single situation worldwide right now. This is a good advantage you have if you want to learn that. And on the other side, you will just be with the constellation and will experience that from several sides. And we will do also some collective constellations, like whatever the participants will choose. We can do a constellation for Corona crisis. For the collective, we can choose another theme and do a collective constellation, meaning that that we address everybody and not just an issue of one person. And in these constellations, you will be able to choose one or several positions to stand in your room, and you will be heard. So everybody can contribute from their representative experiences in the collective constellations. So this will be a great experience for everybody. And plus, we will do healing voices parts of with the shamanic healing in several of the constellations. And healing voices always touches in a healing way everybody who is present. So it will also touch everybody on the screen too. So it will be also a collective experience throughout the workshop.
Could you say a little bit more about what healing voices are and where they come from?
Yes, let's start with the informational field, which we normally access through constellation work. And in this, like informational field, you have information stored somewhere, like in a special Wi-Fi field. And the representatives are like receivers for that information. That's what you know, normal or classic constellation work is. And with healing voices, you can imagine that healing energies are stored in the air invisibly, also in a field or Wi-Fi field. But it's not an informational field; it's a healing energy field. And these healing energies are there everywhere. And they want and can help us as human beings to get over a problem, but they can obviously, for some reason, they cannot be effective without a person being able and willing to be a medium for them, like a channel for them. And so I will do that, and I will invite those healing energies, and then I'm just a medium, and I will lend them my body for gestures for a while, for a few minutes, and my voice for sounds. And there will be also sometimes words or sentences out of ancient languages which we don't understand with our brain, but we understand it with our deepest soul. And this is healing voices. And it does not only heal one person, it heals everybody in the constellation, meaning also the souls who experienced the trauma maybe 50 or 70 years ago. And this is a tremendous new possibility which enables us to really heal on an even higher level than with classic constellation work. But it's not involved in every constellation, only there where it's needed. It's about like 80% of my constellations I use that.
I have experienced, both in past workshops with you and in private sessions, the use of healing voices in addition to the constellation work and the symptom constellations to really move things. And one of the things that I find so striking about it is that so much of what we know, what people who are doing this sort of work know, is that a lot of what we experience and a lot of our symptoms, our illnesses, our life challenges are directly related to the problems and illnesses and life challenges of people who came before us. There can be ancestral things that we are still carrying in our family lineage and are unaware of. There can be things for our tribe, our country. There are so many possibilities that are just underneath the surface. And my experience is that working with the constellations and working with healing voices helps to move things for a quicker resolution of those symptoms. Is that how you would explain it?
Yeah, it's just a deeper way of healing. it's not only a healing on the personal level, it's a healing more on the collective level of the whole family system. And it's not only a family system. Of course, family entanglements are the most frequent backgrounds of problems, but there are also others. And for example, a trauma which you experienced yourself in childhood or youth, for example, we will address that too. Or even in a trauma which you experienced yourself, but not in this life, in a former life. And about 20% of the people who do constellations with me bring that background. So it's not really seldom. And we have the total range of possibilities, not only family constellations, but also personal trauma constellations for this life and for former lives. And this healing voices is needed for those healings too. Because if you look back into a former life, unresolved trauma in a former life, then even if you see that, it's you as a human being, just knowing it does not really resolve it. There is another healing quality needed, and healing voices bring that. And they even bring a part of your soul which might be still frozen in that former life trauma experience, and should have come over to this life. They bring it now, and you can consciously include that, consciously integrate that into your soul, which is a tremendous healing experience. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I have found, I've been receiving a lot of feedback from people. We've done 2 previous workshops in Washington, D.C. And as a result, a lot of people have done private sessions with you as well as attended the workshops. And especially lately, I've been hearing from a number of people that their sessions with you where you addressed family issues, tribal issues, even past life issues have changed the course of their lives. That there's something very essential in their being that was preventing them from moving forward in the way that they would like. And that the work with you has really opened them up to new possibilities in their lives that they did not really feel before. And, as we were talking and preparing for this interview, we were talking about the joy that people feel doing this work and the joy that people can feel in workshops. And I just want to say that it seems paradoxical because we're talking about, in many cases, deep trauma and tremendous pain that people have experienced, that their ancestors have experienced, that their tribes or countries have experienced. And yet, when you take the opportunity to really look at them, face them, and bring them forth in order to heal, there is really a tremendous joy that arises from that.
Yeah. Joy and love.
Yes.
So life, beyond all the trauma we experienced in former lives, in our youth, nowadays, now with coronavirus, beyond that, life is joyful. And life wants us. And life is a chance.
Right. And that's a beautiful way to talk a little bit more about what the workshop is. As we had discussed, it's going to be May 1st through 3rd. People can find all the details on Eventbrite, and we're going to have a screen up that tells people where to get the information from. I would also urge people to go to your website and look up what you have there. We had talked a bit about the corona crisis, and one thing that people should know is that you have done a lot of work on healing voices for the corona crisis, including a video that is for people that are concerned about being infected with the virus. It has healing energies. This is simply like an energetic kind of protection, I guess you could call it.
Yeah,
And
energetic antibodies.
Yes. While we're waiting to develop the physical.
Yeah. You will not find them in the lab, but you still have it.
Well, and I also want to caution people, this is not in place of medical advice. It's not in place of taking social distancing precautions. Obviously, you want to follow all of those preconditions, but this is an extra energetic shamanic tool that people should have and people should know about. So there are, I believe, 2 videos on your website about coronavirus. One is the general protection, and the other is for people who are ill and in the hospital on respirators. It's very specifically targeted towards that. And I hope people know that that's there as a resource for them to use and to share. And you will also find on your website a number of Healing Voices videos that are targeted towards specific body parts and organs.
That's right. Yeah.
You have videos about the heart, videos about the lungs, videos, and I say videos, but they're really mostly the Healing Voices, right? So if anybody is interested in those, I have had people tell me that they listen to the whole thing and it feels like an energy tune-up for the body.
And the soul. Healing Voices always touches everything. The body, the soul, and the spirit, and your connections to the world and the universe, really. It's a good, wonderful thing. Yeah.
I think so too, yes. Otherwise, I would not be doing this. And I do want to urge everyone to check this out. Those videos are for free. They are available publicly on your website. There's also information about your work, and I believe all the information about this workshop is on your website. So I would urge everyone who's interested to go and check that out. And I hope you can all join us on May 1st through 3rd. And I'm very excited about what the possibilities are for the future.